All right, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to make a video about the Las Vegas shooting from Mandalay Bay, and I'm going to apologize on the front end for making this video. I really don't want to do it, but I need to just put out what I see for everybody to think about, because I'm seeing enough discrepancy that I need to make a video about just explaining, if nothing more, what I see. Maybe it can add to the conversation. So, and I believe timeliness is something that we need to think about here also. So here is the video, one of the videos, raw videos that I've seen here that I want to just go over with you and talk you through my thoughts as we're doing it. So it's going to come up right now. So pay attention to this light. This light is not on during the concert, before the shooting. Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind is that is not from a magazine. That's a belt-fed weapon due to the length. And let me show you why I'm saying that. I'm gonna pull up a video of a guy shooting full auto with a magazine, and you're gonna see the difference. Let's see here. Now just listen to this. This is how long it would go through with the M4 to go through a magazine. On full auto. Alright, so that's full auto on M4. Now think about that, and now once you've seen that, now go back and listen to this and you'll see that it's a much longer Here you go. All right, so that's the first thing to keep in mind. It's some type of belt fed or extended drum. That's the first point. And that's just a fact. So I'll let you watch this one more time, just so you can see it again. See how short that was? All right, so that's just for the average person to explain to them. That is not an M4 and AR-15 on full auto with a magazine load of 30 rounds per magazine. Okay, that's not that. That is a belt fed or an extended drum. So let's just let you hear that one more time. Okay, that's number one. Okay, so just pay attention. These lights are not on anymore. I'm going to get back to that. But first things first, that was a belt fed or an extended drum. One or the other. I don't know for sure which one. So the usual suspects for this are going to be either, this is my guess here. You have a couple usual suspects. You have either the SAW, the M249, or you have the 240 Bravo, which is another belt fed, or you have a PKM. Okay, so let me just first let you hear what a SAW sounds like. A SAW is going to shoot a 5.56 round, and a 240 is going to shoot a 7.62 round. Okay, and then we're going to, so I want you to hear that first. And I want you to pay attention to the sound that the rifle's making, that the 249's making right in front of your face, but listen also to what it sounds like for the other ones, because the acoustics change and the sounds are different between where you are and the location of the shot and where you are in position to the rifle or the saw in this case. Okay, but here we go. So just pay attention. It's a higher pitch sound. The closer it is to you, it's a lower pitch sound. The farther away it is for you. Just pay attention to that. Make a note. Okay, so they're at the range and they're shooting, and you can see, so there would be guys lined up on the range. So there's obviously multiple shooters here. That's what a 249 sounds like. Okay, so that's that. So let's go back and listen to that against this. Let's listen to it over here. Shooting here starting in here. Okay, listen to that again. Let's just listen to that one again. Okay, notice the sound, and also again, just notice the lights are now on. Here it comes. That's that light that I told you to pay attention to, that during the concert while it was going, the light was not on. So that light got turned on after the shooting started. And as you can see, they're all being spotlighted. Now, the explanation for that, I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you as a matter of fact, that light was off before the shooting and it's on during the shooting. Whatever the explanation is what it is, but that's I'm just drawing your attention to that. Now pay attention to these shots again, and pay attention to the closer the shooter is, the higher pitch the sound is, the farther the shooter is, the lower pitch the sound is. And again, there is variable here. There's acoustics, there's a lot of things going on. So this is not set in stone, but generally speaking, that's anybody that's familiar with these sounds will know that. Now pay close attention to a high-pitched sound, low-pitched sound. Now also, you're going to see in the top right corner here, they're spotlighted from this angle also. I'll try to pause on it. Okay, you can see that they're being spotlighted here. And you can hear the higher pitch sound. And you can see they're spotlighted from there. All these people are lit up. All right. If you just listen carefully, you're going to hear belt fed automatic weapons going off from 2 different locations and from 2 different sounds. You just need to listen to what you're seeing, and you might hear something else also. But just pay attention to the sound. They're clearly not coming from the same place. Totally lit up. Now pay attention to the sound, high sound, low sound, and you can hear kind of that the bullets are coming from one direction on one side, and it sounds kind of like the higher pitched is from behind him. That's what it sounds like. Again, massive room for error here, but it is just got to call it how I see it. That sound is when a bullet came close, that singing sound. Totally lit up. That sound is close. The shooter is close. See that high pitched sound? That you would not hear that from 500 meters. You wouldn't hear it in that way. Notice how they're confused and they cannot spot the shooter.
Hey, you're okay. We can't go yet. We can't go yet. Austin!
Notice how this is, in this side of the video, you can hear it, that the sound is different because it's farther. Okay, now right at the 3-minute and 30-second mark, pay attention. You're going to have, I'm going to get into it, but at the 3-minute and 30-second mark of this specific video, you're going to have a belt-fed weapon that is discharging on full auto at a distance. And then within that, you're going to have a controlled burst and from a closer distance. So just listen very closely. I'll start at 320. And then we'll go through and pay specific. You're going to see 2 controlled bursts. I'm of the opinion there from a suppressed rifle that is close. Watch this. 330.
Oh yeah.
That sound that's full auto. Pay attention. We're at 327, and then you're going to have an interruption of control burst. Did you hear it? Da 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 da. Listen again. Here we go. I'll start at 323. Watch this. Listen again. Okay, so that's guaranteed 2 shooters minimum. All right, I want you to hear now the difference between an AR-15 that is shooting on full auto with a suppressor versus without a suppressor, and then we'll go back and listen to that sound. See, now the people that are, again, unfamiliar, they might confuse a suppressor with a silencer. A suppressor is not a silencer. It doesn't silence. What it does is it baffles the sound and it makes it difficult to identify the location of the shooter. That's the real reason, okay, to use it for suppressor in a combat situation. So let's just listen to what an M4 looks like or sounds like before, running on full auto with no suppressor, and then with a suppressor, and then we'll go back and listen to that sound we heard at 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Take my hearing protection off.
Right, hold on. Let's get it.
Alright.
Let's go back. Alright, so control burst, no suppressor, M4, shorty barrel.
With an 11.5-inch barrel.
Now listen to the sound
Suppressor on.
with the
Is it
suppressor.
quick detach, quick thread on suppressor? The next magazine. Take my hearing protection off. And let's do it again.
This is the sound of a suppressed AR-15. Now let's do burst fire.
And pull off.
Da-da-da. Okay, now come back. Let's listen to that at 3:30. And you're going to hear something very similar to that. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, go back to 3:30. Okay, so I hope you heard that. Let's do it one more time just in case you didn't. Alright, so listen carefully, go over and over it. It comes at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Da-da-da, da-da-da. That's suppressed, in my opinion, based on what I can see. My best guess, that's suppressed fire, burst fire from a totally different location, and it's within the belt while the other belt fed is discharging, so you can clearly hear two. All right, so that being said, let's listen to what the 240 Bravo sounds like, which is 762.
Clear. Push the charging out forward. Lay your weapon down on deck. Stay put. Stay down. Stay down.
Let's go back.
You're up. Target's up. Stay.
Again, just pay attention to the sound of this going off versus the sound of the other weapons on the range going off.
2 pair.
Higher a little. Got
Target
it.
down.
Now
Gauge
get
to
to
the
the
right.
right.
Bring it up and to the right. You're on.
That's it.
Black on ammo. Charge it back.
Okay, so that's that. That's 762. This is a 556. So let's listen to this one more time. And again, I just want to, okay, spotlighted there. Then as you go through, spotlighted from the left, spotlighted from both sides there. I mean, damn, that's bad. Okay, and then we hear multiple shooters, multiple weapon systems at the 3 minute and 30 second mark of this specific video. So I'm going to make this large one more time, and then I'm going to try to turn the volume up because this is a critical piece of information here. And let's just listen to this again.
We can't go yet. We can't go yet.
Just look at how they're all spotlighted. You would think that somebody would have the common sense to shut the lights off if they, damn. Belt-fed weapon at a distance. Look at these. They're still being spotlighted here. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You heard a totally different burst. One last time. That's close. And pay attention to something else. They have no idea where these shots are coming from. It appears to me that they have no idea where the shots are coming from.
Babe, you're okay. I'm still. We can't go yet. We can't go yet.
minutes and 30 coming up right now.
Holy fuck, this girl just got shot in the fucking head.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. He says he just watched somebody get shot in the head. Now, I wanted to bring this up again too. So you have three most likely suspects. You have the 249, which I showed you. You have the 240, which I showed you, and then you have possibly a PKM, which would be a 7.62 by 54. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about their maximum effective range. So we know that based on what we're being told, it's about 518 meters. So for the 249, which is the 5.56 belt fed, the maximum effective range is 3,600 meters. Okay, but for a point target, they're saying it's 800 meters. But I can just tell you that's going to be with an optic that's going to be difficult, possibly on a tripod. You know, that's going to be tough. It's just tough for an area target, 1,000 meters. So is it doable with a 249? Yes, it is, but it's going to be tough. Again, going back to what the guy, he's talking about people getting shot in the face. So, you know, that's tough. For maximum effective range for a 249, it's easier. So the range scale played located, both playing, okay, 100 meter intervals, 200 meters. Maximum effective range 800 meters, but engaging targets, you're going to want to be a whole lot closer than that. But the point here is that engaging at a distance with a 240 is you can hit targets farther out than you can with a 249. One of them is 7.62, the other one is 5.56. And then, you know, to give you another maximum effective range, the PKM. So the point of what I wanted to make by showing you that is it doable with each one of these weapon systems? Sure, it is. But when you start hitting people, you know, either, you know, it's you're getting lucky, or it's tough to shoot. I guess what I'm going to say, to sound not to sound too I don't know what, but to shoot somebody in the face at 500 meters is tough with a belt-fed weapon. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I hate to have to say it like that, but that's so when I hear this. And I hear all these.
Holy fuck, this girl just got shot in the fucking head. It's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I immediately, when I hear that, I think either, you know, with all those rounds, that's just going to happen, or I think a suppressed burst at closer range. That's kind of what goes through my head, you know, for what it's worth. Again, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Listen to this.
Babe, you're okay. Let's go. We can't go yet. So we can't go yet.
Austin!
Okay, that would be far more likely of people getting shot in the face from a controlled burst from a suppressed fire at closer range. I'd say, you know, 100, 150 meters out. Ballparking that. Okay, and the next thing that I want to talk about here is we have an issue, and I'm going to bring this down, and I want to talk about something here. So we're going to talk about angle. Okay, so we said the information that we have is that this is taking place, all this shooting is taking place from two locations at 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay. I'm going to explain to you why I have an issue with that. So, first thing is we're just going to look at the angle, okay? So imagine that this is where the shooter would be on the 32nd floor. This is where the target would be at that concert. And this would be the horizontal distance between the two. So we can obviously calculate based on the distance and the elevation what this angle would be. And this is what they're calling the sight line, or what I'm going to call the line of sight. And this is what is going to be what is in focus for us, because we're going to pay attention to this. So we calculated this, and this is what it is. So ballpark 10 foot per story, and I know this is probably low because the first story is probably much higher than that, but basically 10 foot would put us at on or about 320 feet. A distance of around 1,700 meters would put us at an angle of 10.66. Okay, and that the reason we're talking about that is so we can talk about this. So assume that this red circle is the target, okay? Assume that the distance between the Mandalay Bay and the target is on or about 1,700 feet, or about 518 meters. So you're going to see that, you know, the little bit that I watched on the news, they stressed that, there was pre-planning going on by the shooter because he had put himself in an elevated position. And I just want to speak to that just for 1 second, because there is a limit to that. So in this situation, the shooter would obviously want to set themselves back inside of the building so their muzzle flare, so they can't be identified as the shooter. Okay, what I'm going to explain is pretty obvious, but so you can see this red line here is gonna be the line of sight between the shooter, which is the red arrow, and the target, which is the red circle. Now, okay, so you'd want to slightly elevate yourself. That's fine, but there comes a problem when the elevation is too much, especially if you're trying to conceal your location. Because I'm just going to explain to you, I'm going to show you something that is going to become patently obvious here. As you go up, and I'm going to exaggerate it so you can kind of digest the point. But if I come here, and again, this is exaggerated only to demonstrate the point, but the point will hold. If I'm 32 floors up, 320 feet up, and I'm at a 10 plus degree to the target, I can no longer set myself back like that. I would have two options. I can attempt to shoot through the building, which is obviously not an option. In this case, the only other option would be for this shooter to scoot himself up and break this threshold, so to speak. And in so doing, make himself visible to his target. So his target, he can see his target, and his target can see him at that elevation. So, but I didn't see that. See, you should, those long belt-fed bursts, they should have been able to identify the shooter if that's where he was and that's what he was doing. But I just didn't see that. I don't see that at all. So you can look into this and look during the shooting, but nobody seems to be turning up and looking up at the Mandalay Bay. You would see that on the 32nd floor. I mean, I don't even see that police officer looking up at that building. But 500 meters, belt-fed, full auto, raining down on you from 32nd floor. He's got to break the threshold. You're going to see him. Maybe you can see him. I don't know. I mean, I'm dealing with very little information, but That sound does not sound 500 meters to me out front. It just doesn't sound that, and I've heard it before. Man, you'd think somebody would turn off the lights. Man, again, damn. And I'll leave it at 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this video because that's what's most important to pay attention to. It's prima facie evidence that there is more than one shooter at 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this video. Right here. Unless they were trying to lay down suppressive fire on the shooter, which I watched that sheriff say that they were not doing that, which is crazy to me at the same time. So I don't understand, and that's where I'm at. And I apologize for having to make this video, but I just wanted to make my thoughts known, and hopefully people can comment. I want to know a couple things. I'd like to hear from anybody that was there. Could you identify the shooter? The location, yes or no? I'd like to know from anybody that was in the hospital what caliber of rounds were being. I want to know, what was it, 7.62 or 5.56? I want to know the answer to that, or was it some combination thereof? I'd love to hear from anybody that was there and anybody that is a combat veteran that will be willing to comment on what I just said. I apologize for making this video. Genesis out.